If you're having coffee with me, I'd welcome you to my tangle of words and apologize that due to the constant electricity outages, I can't offer you an ice cold refreshment to cool you down from the sweltering heat. Temperatures are 30 degrees Celsius and rising. Hello, global warming. Is that time of year again? The jacaranda trees are starting to bloom. For examination classes, it's crunch time. Can we now put up Christmas deco, or it's too soon? If you're having coffee with me, I'll tell you about the rise in the next generation of entrepreneurs, or rather tenderpreneurs who make their fortunes in the lucrative business of government tenders, usually by opening inner doors in the government corridors of power. For some bureaucratic reason, the government requires tenders to get anything done, from getting the stationery in a police station to rehabilitating the roads that connect up the country. This process is supposed to ensure transparency and accountability in government procurement, ensuring that due process is carried out in tenders awarded to deserving contractors. Oddest thing is that this process feeds into the ugly underbelly of greed and corruption, where the contractors who win tenders, the tenderpreneurs, are more of mild middlemen who usually grease palms with kickbacks and use their connections to gain the upper hand, subcontracting others to deliver supplies and or services at bloated up prices while they pocket the change. Sometimes they don't deliver at all. They just pocket the money, and that is that. Payments to government contractors have also been cited as a contributor to the parallel market, since the funds would be dispersed in the local Zimbabwe dollar, and unscrupulous contractors would then float their balances to the black market to buy United States dollars. Zim government accounts for 70% of the payments done in this teapot-shaped country. For the past 2 months, the runaway black market rate for the US dollar has been curbed, and the government says the measures it has taken, such as introducing the Mosiwa Tunya gold coin, is what is stabilizing the rate. Government also suspended its payment to contractors to weed out those that had inflated contracts, and this may be a huge contributing factor as to why the illegal money changers, who are usually flush with cash offering high rates for the USD, haven't been as solvent. If you're having coffee with me, I'll tell you about some computers the government wanted to acquire. See, Parliament wanted to get some flashy new computers which can handle all their important government stuff that they do. The tender, which has gotten cancelled, was going to see them get machines for around 9,000 a pop. Apparently, the deal was only cancelled by Treasury after a losing bidder unearthed the scam, exposing Parliament for having approved the inflated tender. Looks like it's a cutthroat world in the government tender business. Check out a viral picture of what is said to be the office for one of the companies that was said to gross a cool 1.6 million. Yeah, it doesn't look like the sort of place to stock $9K computers. What sort of laptops were they even looking for? Usually the most expensive laptops are gaming laptops that have tricked out specs so one can do benchmark gaming. I'll be very worried if in Parliament they spent their time playing video games. I also highly doubt that they would need to do any graphic designing, video editing, and rendering. Even if they did, could still get a respectable machine at a fraction of that price. Who is in charge of deciding what sort of laptops Parliament should get? FYI, this article was typed up on a $300 budget laptop. If you're having coffee with me, I'll tell you that the Artemis launch has been delayed. Again, the spacecraft was rolled back from the launch pad and secured inside NASA Kennedy's Vehicle Assembly Building to ride out Hurricane Ian. I hope you're all safe. You're always safe in Florida there. Upon assessment of the impact of Hurricane Ian, it's been determined that there was no damage to Artemis 1, and so NASA is now focusing on a November 12 to November 27 launch window. Incidentally, Zimbabwe's first satellite, ZimSat-1, is set to reach the International Space Station in October prior to its launch into orbit in November from the Kibo module of the ISS. This was after a 2-month delay due to unfavorable weather. Not exactly sure what it's supposed to do, but according to the unflatteringly named Zimbabwe National Geospatial and Space Agency, it is envisaged that the satellite will immensely enhance the country's mineral exploitation, monitoring environmental hazards, and mapping of human settlements, among other capabilities. Color me curious, what's the approximate value of your laptop? What's been happening in your neck of the woods?